What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex here, and you're watching the Ragin Ronin review. In this episode, we got to talk about box office because some serious box office achievements were made last weekend, and that was from Avengers Infinity War as it broke all records for the biggest opening weekend, and it took that title from Star Wars Force Awakens. Star Wars Force Awakens originally had the title with $247 million on its domestic 3-day opening weekend, including Thursday night previews. And I was not sure. I really wasn't sure and couldn't predict whether Avengers Infinity War was going to take it away. I was just thinking it's going to be a little bit under or a little bit over, and I wasn't confident as to which side it was going to be on. But it took it, and just by a little bit. $247 million opening weekend was made by The Force Awakens, Star Wars Force Awakens. And then on Sunday, it was reported that Avengers Infinity War just beat it by $250 million. However, on Monday, the estimate was made more accurately with $257 million, which means it was $10 million more than Star Wars Force Awakens. Congratulations to Marvel for making an amazing film and also taking the top spot. You might have seen this image circling around social media, and that is Rey passing a lightsaber to Iron Man. It says right here, from a galaxy far, far away to Earth's mightiest heroes. Congratulations on the biggest opening weekend in history, from Kathy and everyone at Lucasfilm. Of course, that's Kathleen Kennedy, president of Lucasfilm. And this is actually a running thing between the studios, because back in 2015, you might have seen this image where Marvel Studios congratulates Jurassic World on being the new opening weekend king. You see the T-Rex ridden by Chris Pratt and the Avengers looking at him, and Thor is going like, who is that guy? And that is because Avengers originally held the record was the record holder for the biggest opening weekend with Avengers back in 2012. Jurassic World took that title away from them, so that's why the Avengers are now Marvel's now congratulating Universal Pictures. The thing is that this isn't new. This has actually been going on for a while between Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, because they were outdoing each other with their own films. Like, for example, Jaws was the big opener, and then Star Wars took it away from Jaws, and then E.T. was the big opener, which took it away from Star Wars, and then they took it back. George Lucas took it back. And then, of course, the Titanic, James Cameron took it all away from all of them because he's now the box office king. And you can see all these Star Wars characters on this Titanic ship. And it's just a really funny thing that they have going on between these mega directors and now these mega studios. So that is amazing. And now that we've seen Avengers do these kind of numbers, it's now competing on the same level as Star Wars. And I'm talking about not just Star Wars, I'm talking about Disney level Star Wars, which is making it more appealing to the mass market, thus generating bigger box office dollars. So Avengers now competing at that level, which is pretty insane. All of this is going to Disney anyways, but still, you know, it's a friendly battle between Star Wars or rather Lucasfilm and Marvel Studios, and it's very, very interesting to see this. Now, the funny thing is that Star Wars, it's able to do these kind of numbers with its brand alone. Just with its brand. It didn't have to make any movies for 10 whole years, and just the anticipation, just the wait, was able to get people in the theater seats. On the other hand, it took Marvel Studios 19 films, 10 years worth of films, and also a lot of A-list actors, and just ridiculous amount of logistics, scheduling, and a very, very challenging task of putting all these actors together in one movie in order for them to compete on the same level as Star Wars. And they succeeded really, really well. They made a movie that a lot of fans loved, and that is awesome. Now, what is next for the Marvel Cinematic Universe? There's obviously a lot going on. There's a lot locked in already that we already know about. Obviously, Ant-Man and the Wasp coming out in July, something I'm really looking forward to. Just saw the trailer for it. And then after that, Captain Marvel in 2019. That's the very first film that's coming out in 2019 that's part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And that will be a movie taking place in the 90s. And that's actually going to be a really exciting film because that's introducing a brand new character to the MCU. So very, very awesome. It's not a sequel to an existing character. It's a brand new character. After that, it's Avengers 4, the follow-up to the film we just saw. They're going to wrap it up with Avengers 4. And after that, it's Spider-Man Homecoming 2, the sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming. That's already locked in for, I think, a July release in 2019. They're filming in this July, actually. They're filming it this July, and apparently they're taking it to Europe. I just don't know what's going to happen next and what part of the timeline this is because, I have no clue. I don't want to say anything, spoilers. But anyways, so that's what's happening for sure that we know of. However, Marvel Studios and James Gunn just locked in the date for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It is officially going to be a trilogy, May 1st, 2020. That is the only film that we know that is locked in for 2020. So, pretty awesome. Now, apparently, there's actually 4 films that Marvel Studios have locked in. 4 dates. They locked in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, but there are actually 3 more dates that Marvel Studios has locked in. They just haven't announced those films. Now, I'm pretty sure they already know what it is, but they don't want to lock those films in yet. However, Kevin Feige did mention that they will announce what the films are for Phase 4 around, during, or after Avengers 4 comes out. All right, so I guess they're going to see how well Captain Marvel and Ant-Man and the Wasp do, and then, of course, Avengers 4, and then they'll make the announcement as to what's going to happen next from now till 2025. Apparently, Kevin Feige already has ideas for all the way to 2025, ideas and stories, and that's going to be really, really exciting because, well, we're going to end up getting with all new characters because, well, contractually, Robert Downey Jr. is done, Chris Hemsworth is done, Chris Evans is done after Avengers Infinity War. But I have a feeling that they might want to come back and do more. I just have the feeling. Maybe not right away, but somewhere within those 6 years, from 2019 to 2025. So within that timeline, I think that the original Avengers might come back. And that would be great to see that, just because it's nice to see some familiar faces. Now, the Russo brothers obviously are a pretty big deal now. Like, they made a great film, Winter Soldier, and Civil War up the ante, and now Avengers Infinity War, what could potentially be the biggest film at the domestic box office. Apparently, after Avengers 4, the Russo brothers might not be done. They might do more films after Avengers 4, which is awesome. I think that Russo brothers should really keep that relationship with Marvel Studios, and they should keep going because, like, what they make turns into gold. And also, they said the Russo brothers want Avengers 4 to be a longer movie than Avengers Infinity War. So they want to make a longer movie, which is great because I felt that Avengers Infinity War could have been a longer movie. I would have wanted a longer movie because there's so much to cover. It's a very, very epic movie. Anyways, what is going on next? We know that there's Spider-Man Homecoming 2, there's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. What about Black Panther 2? Obviously, there's going to be Black Panther 2. There has to be a Black Panther 2. Black Panther is currently the biggest or the most successful Marvel Cinematic Universe film right now until Avengers Infinity War beats it. But Kevin Feige said Black Panther 2 will not happen until Ryan Coogler is ready. So they're not going to push him to make it right away. They're going to just let the success continue, and then when Ryan Coogler is ready, then they'll make one. Because Ryan Coogler is obviously a very, very integral part to the success of Black Panther, so they definitely want him back, just like how they want James Gunn for all 3 Guardians of the Galaxy films. So I totally get that. Kevin Feige is considering the Eternals. I don't know very much about the Eternals. I'm not going to pretend to know. It's something new, but it sounds very alien-like, which is something that Kevin Feige teased because he did say that they want to venture out into the more cosmic realm. I'm talking about like Thor Ragnarok, Guardians of the Galaxy, like into that realm of outer space. There are a lot of stories to be told there. Now, also, Black Widow is in discussion. Now, they're looking for a director. They're looking for female directors, and that is currently in discussions for it to happen. I think that when they announce Black Widow next year, around the release of Avengers Infinity War, Avengers 4, the fans are going to be crazy. I don't care who directs it. I don't care if you're bringing a female director or male director. None of that matters to me. I just want Black Widow to happen because she deserves a film. She deserves her solo film. I don't care if it's origin story or a continuation. I want to see Scarlett Johansson play Black Widow in her own standalone film. I think this is something that should have been made a long time ago. As for other characters that could have more potential sequels, Doctor Strange 2, there's no real word on that. Obviously, it was a huge success, but according to director Scott Derrickson, he says that Doctor Strange 2 won't happen until after 2020. So after 2020, so far it's not in the slate for 2020, even though there are like three available slots. It could be 2021. And as for Ant-Man 3, that's way too early to talk about that because Ant-Man and the Wasp, the trailer just came out. I guess it all depends on how Ant-Man and the Wasp does. But I'm just thinking all these solo character films, these solo films, they all have trilogies. Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, even Guardians of the Galaxy has a trilogy. So Ant-Man and Wasp, I really feel that it's going to be a much more successful film box office-wise than the first Ant-Man, especially now that he's gotten so popular. Ant-Man 3, I think, is a no-brainer. It's just a matter of when that's going to happen and what stories they're going to tell within the timeline. What's going to happen. Anyways, let me know in the comment section below what movie from the Marvel Cinematic Universe you would like to see. We got ones that are just out in the open now. Do you want to see Black Panther 2 more? Or Doctor Strange 2? Or Ant-Man 3? Well, I shouldn't talk about Ant-Man 3 because Ant-Man 2 is not even out yet. Or Black Widow. So which of the three do you want to see? Black Widow, Black Panther 2, or Doctor Strange 2? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, if you enjoyed this episode, you want to see more, hit that like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, Ragin Nation. My name is Alex. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.